Welcome to this video, which explores the complex intersection of Civil War politics, the fight for black equality, and the tragic assassination of Abraham Lincoln. Part 1 examines the illusion of reparations, focusing on how the federal government historically compensated former enslavers rather than the people who were emancipated. The 1862 District of Columbia Act serves as a key example. While it provided compensation to loyal Union slaveholders, freed people received no reparations, and funds were even diverted to support immigration efforts. These policies reflected the political divide of 1862. Emancipation and civil rights initiatives were championed by the newly formed Republican Party, while the Democratic Party consistently opposed these measures. The promise of land was also short-lived. Despite General Sherman's order to provide 400,000 acres to freed families, the policy was rescinded after Lincoln's death, returning property to Confederate owners. Part 2 looks at the deadly backlash, illustrating how the push for black political rights became a catalyst for the assassination of President Lincoln. The narrative of the assassination shifted from a failed kidnapping plot in late 1864 to a fatal act of murder in April 1865, following Lincoln's public endorsement of voting rights. On April 11, 1865, Lincoln made a historic speech where he proposed voting rights for black soldiers and the highly educated, a moment that marked the first public support for black suffrage by a sitting president. John Wilkes Booth, listening to that speech, viewed it as a direct threat to the social hierarchy he fought to preserve, which turned his previous kidnapping conspiracy into a plot to murder the president. Following the assassination, President Andrew Johnson actively worked to undermine black civil rights, vetoing legislation and reversing land redistribution, which severely limited economic progress for generations. Ultimately, Lincoln's death was a targeted political intervention. It effectively derailed the trajectory toward true economic and political equality for over a century. In summary, the era was defined by the government favoring slaveholders over the emancipated, deep partisan opposition to civil rights, and a political backlash that obstructed justice for over 100 years. The sources for the images used in this video can be found here, providing further insight into the historical documentation of this period.